Hi guys, and welcome back to Chengi's World. I am on a bit of a roll because, like I said, I like to record videos that are very relevant to my personal journey or as close to my personal journey, because I'm going to be a lot fresher and more willing and I don't know, it's just going to be more because it's a journey that we're taking together as well. So guys, make sure that you subscribe if you're new to this channel, because it'll be great for you to join this party and become part of my amazing world. And for those of you who've come back, welcome back. You know how it's up. Okay, so make sure you guys leave a comment, share, and like my videos if you wanna. But it'll be really great to build this amazing community of guys and girls. So guys, thank you so much. And today I really want to just talk about the pain game. Ooh, 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 ooh. You know, as I sort of get older and I begin to sort of reflect, you know, every time I get nearer to my birthday, which is going to be very soon, which is this month. Whoop, whoop. Yes! Hello, July! Queens are born in July. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Hey! Okay. Rewind. Okay. So as every year, as I come closer to my birthday, I really begin to really reflect. My son was saying to me, Mom, what do you do on your birthday? And I said to him, birthdays for me are a time of reflection. They're a time for me to go away and think about my life. I really tend to not be in the mood for partying. I don't remember a time really when I had a birthday and just felt like partying. Usually I just want to be in a place of calm and peace and relaxation where I can reflect. And I've started reflecting a bit earlier because this is my 40th birthday. It's quite huge for me because I never thought I'd be 40, but I've always looked forward to it. But it comes with certain kind of realities. You know, you got to be checking yourself. So I've been reflecting on the pain game and sort of looking back at my life and sort of really talking to God, obviously, because my reflections are always prayers in many ways. And I was thinking of, you know, why we don't always win in the game of love. Why do we not win in life in general when all the opportunities are presented before us, and we have so much to enjoy in life, but definitely in the game of love. I just recorded a video that you guys have already seen on the weight, but why do we not want to wait, and why do we struggle? Because I have found that we are not so willing to endure hardship as good soldiers. We're not so willing to count it all joy when we face different trials and tribulations of life. And that's because somehow we have ourselves wired to believe that every path must be straight and every path must be beautiful. I went through a situation recently that I shared in the last video, and obviously not specifically, but I went through a situation where I was sort of questioning myself. And the one thing that I kept saying to my friend when I was speaking to her, because I was saying it to me, was, if this is God, should it really truly be this hard? If God is saying this is my path, if God is saying this is what I should be doing and who I should be doing it with, should it really be this hard? And I realized, you know, that at the time she was like, yeah, if it's God, should it really be hard? And there are some things in life indeed that, you know, when they're right, they're not hard. They're not hard in a certain kind of way. They're not hard in a certain kind of way, but they will be hard in a different kind of way. I remember when I bought my first property, God told me, you're gonna buy a property, and I didn't have a penny at all. And I didn't even have a job. I was a full-time minister on a stipend, really, and that was not going to be mortgage buying money. And one of the girls in church came up to me because she really appreciated my ministry, and she said, you know what, I really love you, and I have 3 properties. And I've realized that I've accumulated a lot of wealth all by myself, and I've done really well. And I just feel that God wants me to help you get a property. So God has told me that I should give you a 15% deposit, because at that time they were giving these self-cert mortgages at the time, and they were literally giving mortgages out like candy, which is obviously what caused the crash and all manner of things. But I was on the other side of that. So, she said, then you, with a 15% deposit, then you don't really need to show income. You just need to, a broker will help you out, blah, blah, blah. She said, at that time, she said, you can look for a property for 150,000. At that time, that was a heck of a lot of money. You could get a really good property, and I will give you 15%. And I cannot tell you that in that moment I knew it was God, because I don't know about you guys, but I don't know if anybody has ever come to you guys and been like, okay, I'll give you your deposit to buy a house, and I'll help you, and I'll give you a mortgage broker, and I'll do this for you. Hello. I know that it's a massive miracle, and miracles happen in my life quite a lot. But one thing I've learned about miracles is they're not just easy, because from that process, from that conversation, to find a property was hard work. I thought it would be easy. I thought, okay, it's God. He's just going to say, drive the car, go around the corner, and that's your house. Because, it's God, right? He started it. It should be easy. It was not easy to locate the right property, to choose the right. And then when I located it, to choose it, to make that decision, it wasn't easy to arrange the mortgage. You're a minister, you've got to be honest. It wasn't easy to find the right lenders. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy to convince my ex-husband that it made sense, because he just didn't think it made sense for me to be pursuing that path. So it was lonely, it was difficult, and I had to push, and I had to struggle, and I had to keep moving forward, and I had to keep going. And when I'd overcome one obstacle, then it was, okay, we've got to pay solicitors fees. How much is that? A couple of thousand. Oh my God. Okay, where am I going to get that? I don't have it. And God sent somebody else after much struggle, and he said, look, God told me that I needed to help you with the solicitors fees, so here you are. Then when that was done, then my gotta pay the broker, and we don't have money for that either, and we're gonna pay, there were so many obstacles along the way, but it was God. And I eventually got this amazing property with just in the most beautiful part of town with, oh my God. And I sold that property for twice as much, literally within a few years. So yes, it was God, but it was hard, And so this video really was to say to you guys that, as I was reminded that just because something is right doesn't mean it's going to be easy. Just because you've met the right guy, it doesn't mean that that journey is going to be easy, even with that right guy. And there's no reason to quit on that journey. There's no reason to quit, but we quit because the discomfort becomes unbearable. We don't want to hurt anymore. We're a generation, and more so than the old generation. I work with pensioners and old people, and they just endured through stuff. They just survived through stuff, because that generation was could take a hit. I was listening to a recording from Rocky, one of the movies, and he was saying, life will hit you hard, and it's not about how many whether you can be hit hard and get up. It's about how many times you can be hit and keep going, and then he finishes by saying that is how winning is done. And I really believe that I too was a victim of a generation that just did not want to work through stuff, that just didn't want any pain, didn't want any discomfort, didn't want any suffering, and didn't want it to last long. And even when we date now, and even when we are in courtship, and even as married people, we just don't want to endure hardship. So what we do is we bail out, or we forfeit because we don't want discomfort. We're always looking for that situation, that relationship that won't hurt so bad, that won't be difficult, that won't be complicated, that won't have intricacies, that won't be difficult. We're looking for that scenario that is just going to be easy. But the reality of the matter is there is no such thing, and that everything that is worth having must cost you something. One of the things that God said to me, salvation is free, but it's not cheap. And I realize that is a principle for everything. Love is free, but it's not cheap. The people that your old couples that you see holding hands and kissing, we all think it's so sweet, but it costs them something to be that couple. They had to go through infidelity. They had to go through misunderstandings. They had to go through the fire, the storms, the wind, the rain. They had to endure things in order to get to the other side, in order to find that comfort level where when I'm holding your hand, I'm not holding it because I've got hormones surging through my body and causing me to be fired up and driven about you. I'm holding your hand because we've been through the fire, we've been through the storm, we've been through the mill. We've had to forgive each other multiple times. We've had to overlook difficulty. I've had to live with your flaws and you've had to live with mine. So when we're holding hands, it is a sign of victory, not luck, not aren't they lucky, And I realized that unless I am prepared to endure some discomfort and even endure a feeling of rejection, in the knowledge that I'm not being rejected, in the knowledge that I'm not being rejected, but it's just how it feels right now. And if I cannot endure that feeling, if I cannot endure the discomforting feelings and the difficult feelings on this side, I will not be able to survive on the other side. I will not be able to process on the other side, because we're always being prepared for the long term. We can get something easily at low cost really quickly. We all know that if we go shopping in Primani or Primark or the cheap stores, we all know that we can look good on that day. We can look stylish, we can look fashionable, we can look fabulous. And yes, I go to Primark too. But I understand that whatever I've walked away from with that is not going to last me. It's not going to endure. It's not going to do the journey with me, because it's not designed to. The things that give us instant gratification, instant satisfaction, and don't hurt so much tend to not last so long. So this video is to say, look, be a generation. Sometimes I get letters from you guys, and one of the things I can see is you don't want to let go of this guy. He's bad for you. Everything he's doing is bad. He's a bad egg, but you don't want to let go, not because you love him, but because you just don't want to feel the pain. You don't want to feel the pain of letting go. But if you don't feel that pain, you won't get the gain, baby. We have to wire ourselves and reposition our thoughts and our mindsets. If you want the killer body, you're gonna have to kill yourself in the gym. No one has an amazing body for nothing. People always saying to me, Chengi, you've got this, you've got the cute little body, you got a tight little waist, I got it all going on. But they don't realize that when they're eating full plates of food 100 times a day, I eat small portions, and I watch everything that goes on. I would rather go hungry than eat junk food. I would rather buy fruit when I'm starving than just eat some sort of McDonald's or whatever drama. Not to say that I don't have junk food or whatever, but I will always opt for that painful reality. I will always go for that thing that perhaps won't satisfy me to the level that I would like it to. But the reality is I am prepared to endure discomfort. And now it's not discomfort anymore. It's just a lifestyle. It's how I am. It's how I do. It works for me. And now I've been able to keep this body for years, for 7 years plus and going. And I can never see myself being fat because I just don't have that relationship with food. But it took a lot of pain to get there. So whether or not you're on a weight loss journey, whether or not you are on whatever, anytime you are failing, ask yourself, what's the pain I'm avoiding? Sometimes we don't ask ourselves the right questions, because the right question is as powerful as the right answer, because you can't get the right answer unless you ask the right question. And sometimes we are not asking the right question. What is the pain I'm avoiding here? What is the pain I'm avoiding? I hear questions, should I tell him? Should I not tell him how I feel? Look, what's the pain you're avoiding? Because that is, tell him. If you're avoiding rejection, then you got to deal with where that root comes from. Deal with your issues and face rejection, because the only way to overcome something truly is to face it. Be rejected and see if you die, because you will realize that you won't die. You will hurt, but you won't die. You won't die, but you may actually gain something bigger. And you might not be rejected. You might be accepted. It might work out for you. And you might be rejoicing and dancing and having a good time and have found the love of your life. But ask yourself, what is the pain I am avoiding? So at the end of this video, guys, I want you guys to start to think about all the issues in your life, in your relationships and your friendships, and all the areas where you're struggling in life, and ask yourself, what is the pain that I'm rejecting? And when you're in the pain, count it all joy, because that pain is a vehicle to your gain. That pain is somehow, in some way, taking you closer to the mark. That pain that you're feeling, that you will feel when things are not going right, if you can rejoice in it, if you can find a way of surviving it, if you can find a way of being glad in it, if you can find an outlet that is healthy, where you can say, weeping may endure for a night, but joy is going to come in the morning. If you can survive that pain, baby, then that pain is going to be the vehicle to your gain. Even if that pain is walking away from the bad guy and being alone for a little bit, is a pain worth having. It's cheap. It's free, but it's not cheap. So do the pain game and let me know how that's working out for you, because it sure is working out for your girl Cheng. So thank you so much for watching this video. Guys, I look forward to seeing you again soon. If you haven't subscribed, make sure that you do. Love you lots and check you out later. Bye-bye from Cheng's World. Mwah. Bye-bye.